What's going on, Raiders? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking about why now is the best time to start playing Raid Shadow Legends for the first time ever, or start your all-new account, and I'll tell you why. So in this video, we're going to be going over all of the things you're going to be getting from my download link down in the description, or from that QR code that's going to be there on the top corner for the entire video. Now, you do need to start a new account. It does need to be linked to an email address that has never been used in Raid Shadow Legends before to be able to benefit from all of these rewards. So let's get started on the rewards that you're going to get from my download link, and then I'm going to give you 2 extra rewards for absolutely free at the end of the video. So starting off, High Elves, we're going to be going attack. We're getting Legendary Nuker day 1, Eleanor, and Eleanor is amazing. I've used her on a separate account that I don't use for recording or anything like that, and she is awesome. I wanted to make sure I knew how she worked and what she did and how great she was, so I could pick her as one of my starting legendaries for you guys to get for absolute free. So the 2 big things about her is going to be on her A2 here. She's got a poison debuff for 2 turns and places a second poison debuff for 2 turns if the attack is a critical. So poisons immediately amazing. On the A1, there's an HP burn for 2 turns. And then on the A3, there's a way to activate all the poison debuffs on all enemies. And when you start the game, you're going to be using a starter character that you have to pick one of your 4. The best one, in my opinion, is going to be Kale. So you're going to be starting off with Kale, who's going to have a lot of poisons. Then you're going to have Eleanor, who's also going to have poisons, and she's going to be able to detonate those poisons as well. She is absolutely amazing, an incredible starter legendary nuker that will carry you through the early game. Absolutely amazing. Then at level 10, you're going to be getting another great character, and it's a support character named Tagore. This guy is absolutely nuts. So good. Everything you want in a support character. The A1 attacks 1 enemy 2 times, places a 60% increased debuff for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest current HP. So keeping that low HP ally alive, which is probably going to be your nukers and your damage dealers, because they're not the ones that have the defense. They're going to be the ones doing all the damage. The A2 is going to be attack all enemies and places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, then heals all allies by 15% of this champion's max HP. This is absolutely insane. Speed is going to be the biggest thing in turn-based games like Raid Shadow Legends. So getting a 30% increased speed buff as well for 2 turns, and then also healing for 15% of this champion's max HP. Absolutely amazing. And then the A3, revive all dead allies with 30% HP, and places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. So if Tagore is the only one left, or one of the only other ones left, and you need to revive 2, maybe 3 allies, guess what? He's going to revive all of them with 30% health. Absolutely amazing. Tagore is so great. You're going to be getting him at level 10. Super quick, super easy. Now, let's go to level 20. At level 20, you're going to be getting Ugo, another amazing support character in the epic tier. Absolutely insane character. I used Ugo so much, and the only reason I even stopped using Ugo is because I got super lucky with one of my shard pulls, and I pulled an S-tier legendary support character that has been insane, Duchess Lilitu. She's awesome. I've been using her. Also, I got Elva Autumnborn, so if not, I'd still be using Ugo and not be having any regrets whatsoever. So for the A1, attacks 1 enemy, has a 35% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. The chance increases by 5% for each enemy alive, so this goes up to 55% when you have 4 allies alive in things like Clan Boss. The A2 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. The chance of placing the block buffs debuff is increased by each enemy alive. And then the A3 is also a 50% chance at reviving all allies that are dead, and it fills their turn meter by 50% as well, which is really great. It also removes all hero reduction debuffs from all allies, then removes 1 random debuff from all allies, then heals all allies by 20% of this character's max HP. An insane Insane kit for an epic support character. And then the passive here places a 30% increased speed buff and a block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn whenever this champion is last living ally is killed. So if Ugo is the only one on the field, guess what? Increased speed buff, which we talked about how important was, and also a block damage buff, which means she cannot take any damage unless they remove that positive effect, that buff, and then gets to get to that A3 and potentially revive all allies. So absolutely amazing. That is at level 20. You'll be getting her day 1 as well. Now let's go over to the Undead Hordes, and we're going to talk about Mausoleum Mage. And Mausoleum Mage is another epic support character. So you're getting 3 epic support characters and 1 legendary with my download link. So all the supports to keep Eleanoril alive. I'm also going to give you another legendary damage dealer as well. So you're welcome. So stay tuned for that. Now, let's talk about Mausoleum Mage. The A1 attacks 1 enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, which is awesome. Again, what's just as good as increased speed? A decreased speed, right? So if you're putting a decreased speed buff out there by 30% for 2 turns, that's amazing. You're lapping the enemy because you have the increased speed from Tagore, the decreased speed from Mausoleum Mage. Absolutely great combo there. The A2 places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 1 turn. So block debuffs, amazing. Increased crit rate as well. 30% increased crit rate will help you so much in the early game before you're able to build 100% crit rate builds on your characters. And that is really, really helpful because that is something that's really hard to get in the early game. So amazing early game character here. And then Winds of Purging, the A3 removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals all allies by 10% of this champion's max health. Heals each ally by a further 10% if 1 or more debuffs are removed from that ally. Fills each ally turn meter by 15%. Filling turn meter is just like increasing their speed, but you're filling their base turn meter, which is so strong. And if 2 or more debuffs are removed from that ally, they're doing that. So Mausoleum Mage, another insane support character. Absolutely amazing, part of the Undead Hordes faction. One of my favorite supports. I absolutely love this guy. Now, we have another bonus, and this is going to be through a promo code. And if you are going to be trying to do any sort of promo codes, you want to make sure you are either using the web browser for Plarium, or you're going to be playing the game on your desktop. If you want to type in promo codes on iOS, you need to click a different link down in the description to do that, because it is specific to not have iOS as an option here. This option will not be here. So for promo codes, you'll want to type in Demon Slayer, and that is going to get you the next legendary that we're going to be talking about, and the legendary that everybody is going to be chasing, and that is Tholen Foulbeard. He is the current fusion event that is going on for the next 10 days. And let me tell you, I am using all of my resources to get him because he is absolutely insane, amazing, early, mid, even getting towards late game. He is absolutely insane. I also need an attack character from the Force Affinity. You see that skull next to his name up there. And you guys can get him for 100% free day 1 as long as you type in that promo code within the first 24 hours of starting a new account. So let's go over his kit. The A1 Demon Breaker attacks all enemies before attacking, has a 25% chance of placing a weakened debuff for 2 turns, has a 50% chance of placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance, a boss, or a minion. This effect cannot be resisted or enemies from resisted by enemies from the Corrupted Alliance, bosses, or minions. And it also grants you an extra turn if the debuff lands. Absolutely amazing, essentially taking 2 turns here. Really strong. The A2, Back to the Abyss, attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Each hit will ignore 25% of the target's defense. If the target is from the Corrupted Alliance, a boss, or a minion, each hit ignores 50% of the target's defense instead. Each hit decreases the target's attack by 5%, stacks up to 25%. Each hit also increases the champion's attack by 5%, stacks up to 50%. So this guy absolutely thrives in clan boss and places where battles are going to be lasting longer because he's stacking up this increased champion's attack and also decreasing the target's attack as well, helping your team stay alive a little bit longer. Then for the A3, Rabid Fury attacks all enemies 2 times before attacking. places a 50% increase attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. For each critical hit landed on the first hit, increases the damage dealt on the second hit. Will ignore unkillable and shield buffs, which is absolutely amazing. This guy is so strong. Then we've got the passive Evil's Nightmare. Activates Demon Breaker skill every 5th turn this champion takes. Enemies from the Corrupted Alliance, bosses, and minions cannot land a critical hit on this champion. So some survivability here and a damage dealer. Also, activating that A1 over and over and over again every 5th turn, which gives him an extra turn. So he's literally taking the extra turn from his passive, then the A1 is giving him another turn, and he's just doing amazing things. So I cannot tell you how good this guy is. I'm so excited to unlock him. I've been busting my tail, doing everything I can to get him unlocked as quickly as possible. So as of right now, we have Eleanor starter legendary, Tholen, who you could get from the promo code, and 3 epic support characters. But guess what? That's not it. We're also getting another free legendary from Raid Shadow Legends themselves. So let's hop into hellhades.com so I can show you them. All right, and last but certainly not least on our list, we have a 100% free legendary just for logging into the game. Lemonissi, the Goldwing, ranked at a 4-star out of 5 on hellhades.com, which is an amazing resource you're going to want to use as you progress your journey through Raid Shadow Legends. Also, the Force Affinity and part of the Sylvan Watchers faction. He's pretty good, honestly. His ratings in a lot of different areas of the game. Spider, Fire Knight, Dragon, Ice Golem, even hard mode Spider, which takes a while to get there. Chimera, Amius, a lot of places he's very good at. Like, so very above average in a lot of places. Absolutely amazing for new players. Now let's look at his kit. So we've got Auric Talons, the A1, attacks 1 enemy 2 times. If the target is under a shield buff, each hit has a 25% chance of decreasing the value of the shield by 10%. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. If the target is not under any shield buffs, each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense instead. So a pretty good A1 there. The A2, intercept the threat, attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. So really great for removing buffs from enemies. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. This skill deals more damage equal to the value of the target's current turn meter. So if their turn meter is near full or full, you're dealing that much more damage to the enemy, which is really cool mechanic, very unique, love it. Venerated Warrior, the A3, attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 100% heal block debuff for 2 turns. The second hit has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs debuff for 2 turns. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. So another great hit, attacking all enemies 2 times. Amazing. 75% chance of landing that heal reduction, which is also very good. Then the passive Scourge of the Evil receives 15% less damage from enemies under heal reduction debuffs, which you're going to be getting that heal reduction from the A3. You're also going to be getting that heal reduction just from the A3 there. So very good, making sure that your allies are going to be taking less damage, essentially. And then fills the champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy receives a shield buff or is healed, which is great. So even when you don't have this heal reduction debuff out there, you're going to be benefiting from when the enemies are healing, because you're going to be getting that turn meter as well. So absolutely amazing. And again, that champion is 100% free courtesy of Raid Shadow Legends. So to recap here, we've got Eleanor, legendary nuker from the High Elves. Day 1 with my download link, or scan the QR code that's been up there the entire video. Then at level 10, we're going over to the Orcs, and we're going to be unlocking Tagore, who's amazing. Increase ally speed, team-wide revive as well. Amazing. Then at level 20, we're going to be jumping over to the Ogren tribes, unlocking Ugo, another absolutely insane support character, doing some amazing things. Also has a team-wide revive. It's a 50% chance, but Tagore can kind of help out, bolster that a little little bit, getting that block debuffs bonus as well as decreased defense debuff out there on the enemy. Absolutely amazing. Then at level 30, we're going to be hopping over to the Undead Hordes faction and unlocking Mausoleum Mage, doing amazing things, putting decreased speed out there, as well as increased crit rate and increased defense on your allies, and then doing a pretty insane cleanse and heal with the A3. Then day 1, you're going to want to type in that promo code Demon Slayer to be getting Tholen Foulbeard day number 1 within the first 24 hours of starting your new Raid Shadow Legends account with a new email that has never been used before. Then, just for logging in, you're going to be getting Lemnisci the Goldwing absolutely free, just for logging in to Raid Shadow Legends. And they do this pretty often. I've been playing this game for about 3 months now, and this is going to be the 3rd calendar free legendary that they've given 100% for free. Both of the ones that they've already given to me, and I was around for those, are S tier, and they are in my daily use for Arena. Absolutely amazing. Alice the Wanderer, as well as Udex Ardor. This guy going to be just as good, I have a feeling. So make sure you're starting Raid Shadow Legends today. Now is the time. This is your sign to start your new account or start your first account to get started off the best way in Raid Shadow Legends history. Do it right now. Click that link down below or scan that QR code. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, Raiders.